sewing friends, my name is Victoria and welcome in my sewing room. In this video I wanted to share with you how I organized my sewing and art space and to show you how I store some of my sewing supplies. I believe it can be useful for some of you and I believe it's a good way that you know me a little bit better. Well, I have to tell you that this room is basically the biggest of two rooms that we have in this flat. I use this for sewing purposes, and there on the second floor we have a sleeping space. The small room is around 8 square meters and it's used by my partner for his work and as a gaming room for him. We were debating who should have a separate room and I lost, but in some way it's turned to be better because I have here much more space for my art. So behind me there is my sewing corner, and in front of me, behind the camera, there is another table I'm using for drawing and for editing and for all other art purposes. I like to separate my space. So let's go, I will show you the sewing corner. I will start from my sewing table. I actually have two of them. I bought them in IKEA, and at that time I was very excited because you can regulate the height of your surface and legs look very nice. But I never used height regulation, and if you do not have enough storage for your fabrics, boxes, etc., like in my case, it can end up like this. I will show you now what I store there. Here is a box with some fabrics for lingerie. On the top you can see extremely beautiful piece of silk. I can't wait to make something with it. Then here is a box I like very much and I'm proud of. I store there my lace. I cut off some cardboard rectangulars, rolled my lace over and pinned the edge, and now it is very comfortable to take lace out to see what you have in general, so take this tip. Well, here are the boxes from another leg. I use them to store some of my elastics, but that's not all of them. You will see later my elastic treasure place. And here is my ironing board and a steam generator. I instantly decided to go for a good one, and some of you were asking me what is the producer of my steam generator. It's Philips SpeedCare. I'm pretty satisfied. Another very useful thing is an ironing board for sleeves. And I have another two tools for pressing. This one for shoulder seams and this one to form a bra cup. You might need one if you're interested in the lingerie making. And this is a must-have of every sewing room, at least for me. This is a pegboard from IKEA and I just in love how comfortable this thing is. I hang there everything that I need in every my project. Scissors, bulky rulers, my thread stander. By the way, I made this stander by myself. I just couldn't find stander I like, so I decided to make one. I actually made no economy, but in the moment you feel yourself so powerful with a screwdriver in your hand. And this is my sewing equipment, a sewing machine and a serger. At the beginning of my sewing trip I was thinking to store them on the leg shelves, but yeah. And here are my beloved drawers. In the first one I store everything related to sewing. I really like the concept of shallow drawers because you can see everything much better. Very useful when you have lots of small things. So the first drawer I use for technical stuff, chargers, manuals and some patterns. In the second section I store all of my small and useful sewing stuff, and I even do not need to stand up from my chair. I just love the configuration of this sewing island. I organized everything so I can easily see all of my stuff. Here are some spools, rings and sliders, iron hooks, needles, markers, pins, well, everything that you usually need while sewing. And look at this. It was worth it. Definitely it was worth it. Sometimes I just open this drawer and stare at all of this. Mesmerizing. My next drawers are dedicated for some fabrics. For example, here is some silk and lace, and in the next one I store something stiffer. And the last drawer I use only for patterns. And another drawer I use for my other hobbies. For example, I love natural stones. I have tons of the beads for jewelry, and I store here some of them, as well as some equipment for jewelry making. This section is dedicated for copybooks and language learning materials. By the way, this type of small notebooks are super comfortable for learning words. I found them in store called Muji. The next section is very heartwarming for me. Here is a part of my art supplies. And the next drawer is for kind of mixed stuff. I am very happy that we made another story in this room, and luckily this construction gave me opportunity for some extra storage. Here, for example, I made a net for my pattern drawings, and from another side I have some boxes where I store some fabrics, ribbons. It also appeared to be a very comfortable place for storing paper rolls. And here, for example, I store special foam to make bra cups. Now I will show you the content of that boxes. And yes, more fabrics. Some elastic mesh and gusset jersey. And here is some velvet. In black boxes I store more elastics and more craft supplies. Here is mostly stuff for handmade. Some ribbons, plaids, and here are many wooden bracelets. I was painting on them. And another very important thing for me in my working room is a printer. It was so uncomfortable before to go to a copy station every single time I wanted to print a pattern. It stays on a serving trolley from IKEA. I like very much the quality, though I was very sad when all colorful trolleys were sold and I had to buy a white one. Here I store some filming and sewing equipment and more fabrics and lingerie kits. And this garment is my defeat. I could make a bunch of videos describing my failures. This was the first time I was using a ready pattern from a pattern magazine called Burda, and I took the wrong size. So I have super high quality pajama shirt that I cannot wear. Okay, moving to another table. The honest reason why I need to have two tables is because I create a huge mess on the table while I'm working on my projects. And if I need to make something else meanwhile, I just go to another table. I, in general, have some habit to migrate all over the flat while working. As you can see, the same problem with the table legs. Here I have a storage of my natural stone beads. The first time I visited Crystal Shop here in Berlin, I was so amazed by the beautiness of a simple rock, and it was the beginning of a big hobby. Here stands my small easel, by the way, very comfortable thing. I have another big one that is hidden behind the door. Now it looks mostly like a storage. Here I have some unfinished drawings for my work, some albums and some personal stuff. And here is an example how I used my wooden bracelets. As an artist, you always doubt in yourself and your abilities. It's kind of some emotional roller coasters while working over some project. So it's good to have some reminder on the visual place that you have actually some skills. Sadly, it works only like a reminder because I do not wear them, not so much in my style. Behind you can see my painting that I made in aquarelle technique, and these are the stones I brought with me from Portugal. It was the time when I saw ocean for the first time. And I'm actually using big rocks for pressing my patterns to the fabric while cutting. And this is a treasure of my collection. It is a slice of agate. I have very warm memories linked to this thing because it was the first time I brought my dad to the crystal shop I mentioned before. And at that day I understood that my passion for crystals is actually a family thing. And up here I store boxes with my art supplies I use not so often, brushes, my drawings, and my pattern magazines. This one is extremely heavy. Here is a personal thing I wanted to show you. This is a painting of my grandpa. I love this piece, and my house in Ukraine is full of his oil paintings. I also own a mannequin I was too lazy to undress for you, and an awesome vintage piece. This is a Singer sewing machine that is around 100 years old. I bought it in a very good condition, and for a long time I wanted to restore this treasure. There even remained the original manuals and presser foot. Someday I will show you this up close. Honestly, I love my room. It is sad I need to move to another place very soon, but I definitely will not miss this darkness. This room is very dark. Okay guys, I will see you the next time in the new location. In 1 hour I will start to pack